Hello, I'm Karen, and as I said to you, if you're going to carry on in part 2, we're doing the grey section. Okay, so we've now got to row 7 of the actual cardigan. Okay, and this is where we're going to be making the armholes. And on this particular version, we're not going to do the chain underneath the armpit because we're making this for a newborn baby, so we don't need it for this particular cardigan. Okay, so we're going to do, let's just push that up there a little bit. So we need to do a chain of 3, turn. And what we're going to do is we're going to work to the middle of this group of 3, okay? So remember, we're working into the second to last stitch there, and I do believe it tells you, yeah, you're going to work into that one and then work into the next 10 stitches to be able to get to where we need to be. Yeah, so I know still can't get over the fact that it's April. I know I said I was going to do 1 video per month. Obviously this is not turning out like that, and I'm not sure how YouTube's going to go with the flow if I publish more than 1 video in 1 day. So I don't think I should upload. I think I should publish them all in 1 day. But I don't know, my algorithm's shot anyway. Right, so I've got to the middle one there. Yeah, I managed to ruin it all by mentioning the Voynich manuscript previously because the algorithm had never come across somebody mentioning the Voynich manuscript and crochet in the same sentence or in the same title. So what you're going to do is you're going to skip all of these because this is going to be making the so this bit's going to go over the shoulder, and we're going to work into the middle here. If you can, try and keep your yarn, your tension quite nice there. It doesn't matter if you can't. If you're new, don't worry, it just makes a bigger hole. Oh, I split my arm when I went in. Right, so and we do that one there. Yeah, so and it says in my pattern as well, don't worry if you get a big hole there. It's naturally going to be used later on anyway, so we don't need to worry about it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work all the way across to the other side. Yeah, so you're going to work all the way to that piece there. I said I know I've got to split my videos. I don't know how exactly it's all going to work really. I had a plan in my head, but I also didn't plan in my head that the work people was going to be outside digging up the road and making loads of noise. I know they have been working. They've been working for a few weeks actually on different sections. Apparently they're doing work to the gas pipes, which and every so often we get a real massive stink of gas. It's really not very good, but I know that work has to be done, so they're getting it done. But yeah, so we're just going to work our way across to this piece. As like I said, this year I decided that I wanted everything to be easy. So as much as it's going to be split into portions, I should theoretically get my videos into a playlist so that then you can be able to just follow along. And like I said, if you actually want to just skip ahead and go and buy the pattern, then thank you very much. I do appreciate that. There is a discount. So use save 20. I'm going to put links in the bottom of my thing so you know, because I think I forgot to say in my first video the name of my Etsy shop. See, that just shows you how good I am at selling myself. Yeah, my Etsy is called Cottage Cake, because originally I wasn't going to do crochet, I was going to do cakes. But there you go. And then I couldn't change it. At that time, they wouldn't allow you to change it. And so now, obviously, I could, but so many people have already got links in all of my videos to be able to go to it. It's pointless me doing that. So, right, so we're going to do the same thing again, skipping these bits. I'm going to go to the next, middle of the next corner, into there. and we do that one, and then we're going to go all the way to the end. And remember, when you're doing this one, so when you're doing the treble crochet or the double crochet, these stitches, depending where you're from, we're going to be working into the chain at the very end. But from this row onwards, things are going to change. So let's just get to the end of this section, and then we'll show you how the next section builds up. And I should, what time am I on? Yeah, I should be able to get that into there. Right, so get right to the very end, and then we've got this last chain we need to work in. So right near your actual stitch, go into there and make that stitch there. I'm just going to just pull it up. So at this point, you'll have little armholes, and it ends up looking like that. Yeah. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do as well is in each of my little videos is actually share that this pattern, even though that I did the design of the bit coming down on the sleeves, this particular section was not mine in the beginning, and I've researched it and found that it actually belonged to Queen Elizabeth, which would actually be Queen Elizabeth I, by the way, because she would have just been queen. She wouldn't have need to say, oh, I'm Queen Elizabeth I. She just would have been queen. Right, okay, so because we got to this bit, I'm going to carry on actually with this particular one. I actually did have separate pieces to be able to do, but I'm going to carry on with this one. So the next row, so row 8, yeah, you're going to do a chain 1, you're going to turn, and for the whole of this row, what you're going to do, so you are going to work into this stitch here. So you're going to work 1 in that one, and then 2 in the next one. Woo. And then you're doing that, so it's 1, 1, 2. And if you want to count as you go across, when you get to the other side, you're going to work all the way. What happens is you end up doing 2 in that one, in that little bit in the armhole bit. And it also falls that you actually do 2 in that one as well. You get all the way to the other side and you stop here. You don't work in that chain at the end, and you have 70 stitches. And when you've got to there, it will look like this. This is a darker grey version. So this one's got all of its 70 stitches in it. So as we can see, when I finished there, so you can see I didn't work in there. So yes, it does look loopy and it doesn't look the best. Remember, I wrote this pattern in 2010 and I'd only just started crocheting, really. Been doing it for about a year. I'd learned how to do all the the names of the stitches I could find at that time. And I knew when I did the edging, it tidied it all up. So now we're going to go back to doing the treble crochet stitch if you're in the UK, or double if you're in the US. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, and you turn, and we're going to skip this one. So it said, so we're going to work in the second to, yeah, so there, working to the second to last stitch from the previous round. So it's that one there. And you're going to work your 3 treble stitches or your 3 double stitches, depending where you're from, but it's definitely 3 stitches into that stitch there. And then you're going to skip 2 and work 3 in the next one. And you're going to do that all the way across to the other side. Okay, I've just realized I didn't bring one of my pieces that I wanted to share in this video, so I'm going to have to pause it. Yeah, so just keep skipping 2 and doing treble crochet. Okay, I'm just going to keep doing that all the way across. I'm just going to just pause my video. I know it won't look really to you like I've run away, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've got the piece that I wanted. Okay, so so where were we? Oh yeah, so we're doing 1, 2, and then treble crochet. Do 3 of these, or double, depending where you're from. You're going to do this all the way Oh, move that out of my way. To the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to the other piece that I've done, which should be this one. It is. Right, so when you get all the way to the other side, oops, that bit's come undone. So this is the last block of these three. So you should have 23 groups of these sets of 3. And then you're going to skip one and do 1 triple crochet stitch or double crochet in the end. So when you look at it, your chain is going to be at one side and your stitch at the other. Yes, I know it makes it go a bit wobbly. Like I said, don't worry about it. Chain 1 and turn. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to work into the first stitch this time around when you do this row, and you're going to do a single crochet if you're in the US, or it's a double crochet if you're in the UK, and you're going to do that stitch all the way across until you've got 70 stitches again, which means so every time you do this row, you're not going to work in that very end chain at the other end. So you're just going to count till you've got your 70 stitches if you want to sit and count. And if you don't, just don't work in that end. Okay, so that's all you're going to do. So for the next few rows, this is a repetitive bit. So you're going to do 1 row of the granny pattern and 1 row of the little single crochet or double crochet, depending where you're from. And so that sequence, I'm counting, if you're just going to count down for easy counting, that to count as 1, even though technically it's 2 rows. Yep, so you're just going to keep doing that till you get all the way. I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to finish every single one of these cardigans. So all the different colours that you've seen so far in the videos, I'm going to finish them all, and some extras, because I made some extras just for spares, just in case, because I wasn't sure if I needed them. Okay, so I'm just going to stop this bit here and show you the one that I paused the video for to go fetch. Oops. And that's this one. Okay, so when you've done, so as that said, look, so these count the way the rows. So if you just count this, yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you want 7. So it was 6 on the top section and 7 on the bottom. When you've done 7, so 7 is including obviously that row there. Yeah, that's where you're going to start to work on the edging, and I think I'm going to do the edge as its own video. So in the next video, we're going to begin with this yellow one. Actually, I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get you started. Right, so if you are doing the frill at the end, you need to do a chain of 3. Yeah, turn, and then into this first stitch do a single crochet, and then it's going to be single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. That's if you're in the US. If you're in if you're in the UK, it's going to be double crochet, chain 3, oops, 1, 2, 3, and back in the same space. You're going to do that all the way across, which is going to kick out the pattern and give you a pretty little frill. If you want to just do the plain cardigan, you do need to do this row here that we're doing as a frill. You're going to just do it as a single crochet, or as just a plain, yeah, or as that stitch all the way across. You're going to do that all the way to the side. When you get to the other side, to there, yeah, we are going to work into that end stitch and do 1 stitch there, and I'll meet you in the next video, okay?